Okay. No, I see where he's coming from.
Millie,
He knows ball.
we are banishing you. Oh my God.
I said it.
I'm about to collapse.
That's crazy to me.
This is a robbery. This is a robbery, and I will not allow this. Box2Box
Is back with another video, and today, Varvar, you're looking kind of clean with that suit.
Thank you, Firms. It's my new suit. Firms, you're kind of looking clean too.
Thank you. We have something cooked up. Millie, what do we have?
Today is a special day in Box2Box history. This is the first edition of the Boxies, where we will be giving our top season awards for the top players in the world. Boys, are you ready?
Millie, let's get it started.
Let's do it.
There better be some Man United players in here, by the way.
I hope not.
Varvar, you're gonna have to wait on those Man U players. We will be starting with the first Boxy, newcomer of the season. We have Mitoma, Saliba, Alvarez, and Cavaradona.
I don't know why Saliba's in this list, to be honest. I mean, he's not really a newcomer. He was already good at Marseille.
If you ask the casual if they know Saliba before this season, I don't think they do. So I would consider him a newcomer. There's other names on this list like Julian. I know Millie's a big fan of Julian.
I am a big fan of Julian. However, Lautaro is still my pick over him, but we'll let that slide for now.
Lautaro keeps making his way in these videos.
Millie, what happened to your boy at the World Cup?
Listen, that's a whole story for a different day. But these nominations, fellas, they are solid. Cavaradona, how can you not know about him? He is definitely a solid newcomer.
Kvara, I mean, if anyone said they thought that this would happen, you're lying. I know Firm said he thought he was good, but I doubt it was this good.
I did not expect him to win MVP of Serie A.
Yeah, that's...
Out of nowhere. Like, this guy was scouted by absolutely nobody. Napoli picks him up, and he wins the league.
Now every team in Europe wants him.
And what about the Brighton man, Mitoma?
I'm gonna give Varvar some credit here because he was the one telling all of us, watch for this guy in the Japanese team at the World Cup, and he balled out.
You guys saw on TikTok, I had him as my breakout player of the tournament at the World Cup. Although he didn't break out at the World Cup,
He showed what he was worth.
definitely did after the World Cup. So
Oh, yeah.
I'll take some credit for that.
Now that we've covered all the nominees, here is the winner of newcomer of the season. And the winner is Cavaradona.
To be honest, I expected it.
Everyone did.
You voted for Cavaradona?
Of course,
I
Varvar.
voted for Millie.
I did vote Cavaradona first.
Clean sweep.
Our first one for the day.
He definitely should have won this award. I don't think anyone even comes close, even though the other ones had good seasons.
No debate. And he has Ballon d'Or potential. Let's just say that.
I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Now that the newcomer of the season has been awarded, we are going to give the award for comeback player of the season. The nominees are De Ligt, Dybala, Rashford, and Grealish. Fellas, what do you think of these nominees?
I like this category because if you look back a year ago, these are players that you were like, what's going on? You know, you look at Rashford.
Rashford a year ago, I mean, first Man United player on the list, by the way. Hopefully first of many. But
You wanted him sold, don't
I did not want him sold.
I don't know about
I
that.
said if he dropped another season like this, ship him to the gulag. Like, it should not have gotten to the point where I thought
You were even
Rashford-
thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's a Ballon d'Or winner in the future, but
Oh my
we'll
God.
let that slide. Who else was on? De Ligt, Dybala, two Juve players. We will not let that slide.
I don't think it's a coincidence here that two Juve players leave and they are on the comeback player of the season list. It's just maybe Allegri tax, just the way they play. Dybala and De Ligt are being solid players for their teams. Are they going to win this award?
Pala agrees with us behind the camera.
He's definitely nodding. He knows it's Allegri tax.
Pala agrees with everything we have said. It is all Allegri tax.
And my guess is next season, we see a little bit of Vlahovic action on this list also for comeback player of the season. That's my crazy guess.
That's your crazy
a bold
prediction.
shout. That's a crazy shout.
Let's say he goes to Bayern.
I mean, that's a pretty good fit.
I think
might
he's
ball
gonna
out.
be there next year. Don't call me crazy.
Bayern has been that club where when Juve players struggle, they go to Germany and they ball out. For some reason, Bayern just turned Juve players into gold.
De Ligt was Juve fodder, not fodder, but basically fodder, and now Bayern player of the season. How's that acceptable? Well, whatever, we'll let that slide. And Dybala just carried Roma to another international final. Like, that's insane.
That's crazy to me. And the fact that Dybala, with all his injuries, was still able to make an impact on that team and was so close to winning a European final with Roma, it just shows the value that he had, and Juve couldn't capitalize on that, and now he's on this list for comeback player of the season.
There's one player in this list that we didn't mention yet, and he deserves his credit. I don't know if you might agree with. Oh, I knew it.
Me. You think they could go back and spend that 120 mil? They do it again or no?
Yeah. He's in a Champions League final.
Oh, okay. So that means Kai Havertz, that Chelsea would do that transfer again. Timo Werner, they would do it again.
Well,
No.
Kai Havertz won the Champions League.
You
because
can
of him.
still be a flop and win the Champions League. They go hand in hand.
But Grealish is not a flop.
He's a flop.
And the winner for the Boxy comeback player of the season is Marcus Rashford.
Obviously, I don't even think I need to ask. This is a sweep. 1, 2, 3. We all voted for Rashford. I mean, come on.
I think Varvar voted for Grealish.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I may have voted Dybala first.
Oh, really?
I put Rashford second. Rashford second.
Okay. No, I see where he's coming from.
Millie,
He knows ball.
we are banishing you.
I don't see what's wrong with that take. He still won. Rashford still won.
Rashford should be head and shoulders above everyone else for this award.
I
How about
agree.
that?
It was close. Dybala for me, a bit closer to my heart, but Rashford had a fantastic season.
Rashford top 10 in Ballon d'Or? We'll see.
The next Boxy is for transfer of the season. The nominees are Kim Min-jae, Kolo Muani, Lisandro Martinez, and Andre Onana.
I mean, let's start with Kim Min-jae. I mean, bought from a Turkish team and no one expected to be this good.
Respect Fenerbahce.
I don't know how many Napoli players we're going to see on this list because their season was insane. So
But Kim deserves to be there.
I agree. Kim definitely does. You can't say Kvara doesn't deserve newcomer. You can't say Kim doesn't
course.
deserve to be nominated at least.
Kim was 20 million and he won Defender of the Year. Do you understand that?
Release clause. We're going to see him at Man United soon, but whatever.
I hope not.
Potentially 2 Manchester United defenders on this list. Lisandro Martinez, what do we think?
Amazing. I mean,
He was a steal, low-key.
worth every penny. And in 10 years, when you see a bunch of 5'9", 5'10" defenders, who's going to be the first one to have done it? Lisandro Martinez.
He is honestly my pick for defender of the season. In any top 5 league, there's no other player like Lisandro Martinez currently in the game. He has that aura. He has the presence. He has the physicality. People doubted him. They thought that he was going to come into the Prem and just be washed away, but he dominated the Prem. For me, my defender of the season.
Yeah, Millie, you're right. But I love that Kolo Muani is getting his praise. Guy was bought for nothing.
For free.
For free. And he's worth 100 million.
A lot of people before the World Cup didn't know about this Kolo Muani guy, and then they saw him off the bench for France, and he was a game changer.
He was
A game changer, and you get that for free. That's crazy. Onana, too. Let's not forget, Onana free.
You know what I think about Onana.
Firms, I know exactly what you think about Onana. You think he is better than Magnan. I completely agree with you. I would 100% take him over Magnan.
What did I just hear?
Onana, I don't know. Would I take him over Magnan?
It's close.
How are you guys
I'll
even
say
thinking
it's
about
close.
this?
It's close. It's close. I'll agree. It's close.
But for a free transfer, Firms, you cannot deny that is just pure Beppe Marotta business.
He deserves to be a nomination, but I don't know if he'll win it, you know?
Millie, show us who won.
And the winner for transfer of the season is Kim Min-jae.
Wow.
Not surprised, Varvar.
I'm low-key surprised. I didn't vote for him.
Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Kolo Muani. Getting Kolo Muani for free? That's ridiculous. That's definitely the transfer of the season. Who did you vote for?
Kim, obviously.
Millie?
I voted Lisandro first, but I voted Kim second.
You see, I voted Kim second also, but that's because Lisandro is like 50, 60 mil. I'll let it slide this time. No Man United bias from Varvar.
Thank God.
The Man United bias will have to wait, Varvar. We will now be doing the award for Manager of the Season.
My Baldy better be on this list.
And my Baldy as well.
Firms, I don't know which Baldy you are talking about, but Pioli is not on this list. The nominees are Spalletti, De Zerbi, Arteta, and Eddie Howe.
Wow.
Xavi deserves to be on this list.
Who?
Oh my God.
I said it.
I'm about to collapse.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy. We will not let the 1-0 wins define a championship season and end up on this list.
Still
Not
won-
happening.
Still won a La Liga.
Won La Liga. Oh my God, he won La Liga. Oh my God.
So what has Arteta done? He didn't win anything.
Congrats, he won a Mickey Mouse trophy.
Yeah, but Arteta was dealing with an injury crisis all season. Plus, nobody really saw them contending for the Prem, and they pretty much held on till the end of the season.
I would like to talk about De Zerbi here because
I would like to talk about him too.
the season that he had, and people like to say, "Oh, Brighton was top 4 with Potter." I don't care about Potter. We saw what happened with Potter as soon as he got a serious job. De Zerbi is different. The aura is different. Everything about him is different. He will be, in my opinion, after Pep Guardiola retires, the best manager in the world.
De Zerbi has shown that he is the next generation of coaches. He is going to be the blueprint, just like Pep was, in my opinion. I don't necessarily think he's going to be at that level, but if I was City and you don't have Pep on your team anymore, why not look at De Zerbi?
And Spalletti, even though he's leaving Napoli, let's not scoff at what he did this
We
season.
gotta give him credit. That was what he did. He brought the Scudetto back to Napoli.
It's a shame that he's going to be leaving on sabbatical, but he has shown that he deserves to be on this list.
He definitely deserves to be on this list. Millie, show us the winner.
And the Boxy winner for manager of the season is Luciano Spalletti.
This is a Napoli runaway. I cannot believe what I'm seeing, but
I love to see it.
I'll accept the result. I voted for him, Firms.
I voted for him as well. There's no other manager that did what he did.
I did not vote for him. I voted De Zerbi first, Spalletti second, but that is not disregarding what he has done with Napoli. That was a generational performance done by Spalletti.
Thank God Arteta did not get mentioned because then we would have issues.
We would.
We are now going from the top performers to the poorest performers. This is the award for the most disappointing team this season.
Millie, tell us the clubs.
The nominees are Chelsea, Leicester, Tottenham, and Bayern Munich. Fellas, these are some big teams. What do we think?
I don't know what Bayern Munich's doing on this list. I mean, I know they had a not good season for their standards.
For
but
their standards.
come on. Come on. They won the league. I don't know.
They
won
fumbled Champions League though.
They fumbled everything almost.
Exactly.
It's pretty crazy to see how everything unfolded at Bayern. Usually they're the model for professionalism and performance, and this season it was just a circus.
But then you look at teams like Leicester, who
Oh, big fall off.
last year they were 7th place and this year get relegated.
It's not even that. They had won the Prem in 2016, won the FA Cup, and then it just went downhill after that.
They had a strong team. They had players that were high quality, and to see them drop is just really, really shocking.
It's almost like a lack of identity, which we kind of saw with Spurs as well. They really didn't have anything going on this season.
Spurs, if they didn't have Harry Kane, would have been in a relegation battle this season. That's my prediction. Well, prediction, it's not even a prediction, but
Varvar, I'm not going to lie, that's actually not that bad of a shot. They would be like, I think, at around Chelsea level.
imagine
Probably.
getting production of 30 goals and finishing 7th. Not even 7, I think they finished 8th outside of Europe.
And the fact is that Kane didn't even end up top scorer for the second time.
That's the complete polar opposite of Chelsea, who I think their Premier League top scorer ended with like 5 or 6 goals.
Yeah.
It was a terrible, terrible, terrible season for Chelsea. The fact that they spent the GDP of Colombia and still ended up worse.
And what's funny is that they still have gaps to fill. Like it's not over.
600 mil spent, and you still have to replace half the team.
Wow.
All right, boys, those were the nominees. Here is the winner for the most disappointing team this season. And the winner is Chelsea FC.
I'm not surprised at all. I didn't vote for them. Surprisingly, the top Chelsea hater,
Who did you vote for?
Leicester City. Getting relegated with that squad and where you were is just so disappointing, especially after how much money got invested in that club. It's crazy.
Something definitely went wrong there. I voted Chelsea though.
I voted Chelsea as well. It doesn't seem like there's any direction in their project. You're spending all this money for players you can't even register yet.
Hey, conversation needs to be had. Todd Bailey could be the worst owner in sports history.
And we definitely saw the worst transfer window in sports history.
100%.
We are now going from the most disappointing team of the season to the most surprising team of the season. Fellas, here are the nominees. Inter, Napoli, Lens, and Brighton. Some nice names here.
I know Millie felt a certain way reading Inter was a nominee.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He knows what he's doing. That Champions League run was good. I can't lie as a Milan fan, but there are some very good names here. I don't know who's going to win it.
Listen, this is recorded before the Champions League final, so we don't know the result. But if Inter win this, then scrap my vote. My vote's for Inter.
Putting my bias aside, Inter had a decent season. Surprising, maybe. The only surprising part was maybe Champions League, but we had to have had the Champions League spot in the league. It was a no-brainer.
I love how Lens is in this list because, I mean, they deserve to be here.
Ligue 1 appreciation, usually they get thrown away. They're the fifth of the top 5 leagues, but Lens finished second, 1 point behind PSG.
Ligue 1 was more competitive than people thought, but was that just because PSG did poorly, or was that Lens actually putting in top performances?
Lens finished on 84 points. That's not like a small amount.
They were putting in that work, let me tell you.
Seko Fofana really did his best to lead that team to a Champions League spot. We'll see what happens next season. Fingers crossed.
And let's not overlook what Brighton did this year.
They were exceptional. De Zerbi at the wheel, he really knew what he was doing.
Players like Enciso, where no one's ever even heard of this guy until he steps on a pitch for Brighton, and then he's the next wonder kid.
Brighton was just spawning players at this point.
Brighton lose Potter. People don't know what's going to happen with the club. De Zerbi comes in and he rights the ship. He was just so dynamic the way he was running that team. The formations, the passes, the plays. Pep-esque, in my opinion.
Their manager left for Chelsea, which is supposed to be like a big jump up. It ended up being a jump down. And then you upgrade on the young up-and-coming manager with an even better young up-and-coming manager.
We've spoken about them a number of times already in this award show. But it has to be said, Napoli deserve to be on this list.
Millie, we've heard enough about Napoli. Let's just hear the winner.
And the winner for the most surprising team of the season is... Brighton and Hove Albion.
That was my personal choice, Varvar. I don't know about you.
They were actually third on my list.
Third?
Ooh.
Third.
So go second and first.
I had Lens first. I mean, finishing second in Ligue 1 with that squad is kind of crazy. They just got promoted a couple years ago.
Fair enough.
Debatable.
And Inter as my second choice. Getting Champions League final with that squad is inconceivable in my opinion.
Squad full of free agents. That's crazy.
And what a job it was.
My first pick, to everyone's surprise, is Brighton. Inter was my second. I just cannot justify putting them as number one when half the season it was just inconsistency, terrible play, underperforming. Mind you, Champions League final is a nice touch to the end of the season. However, Brighton, I feel, had a better overall season.
Millie definitely being unbiased is kind of crazy to me. Firms, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Brighton. There was no debate.
Who's your second?
Probably Lens.
Lens? Okay, not bad.
If we're running it down, Inter might be last. But
Good ball knowledge.
We are now in a very special part of the show, our personal MVPs. We're going to kick it off with Varvar.
Honestly, I only thought of 2 names for my personal MVP this season.
let's start with your honorable mention.
My honorable mention, and it's sad to see he didn't win because he definitely deserves to, is Nicolo Barella.
That's wild. How much Inter prop? Yeah, it's crazy.
He might be the best box-to-box, not show, box-to-box,
Be careful.
midfielder in the world. Used to pray for times like this.
Pray for times like this. Varvar sees the light.
And Varvar, who is your number 1 pick, most valuable player this year?
I'm going to let Millie reveal it. So, Millie, you can reveal it.
Varvar, here is your box-to-box MVP of the season. Harry Kane.
There is no better striker in the world. I don't know how many times I need to say it. Kane is a better player than Erling Haaland. Kane is a better player than Lewandowski. Kane is a better player than Benzema.
Whoa,
Kane
whoa,
is
whoa.
the best striker in the
Haaland?
world. He's better than Haaland. Put Kane on Man City and he's getting more goals than Haaland.
You have an argument, but I wouldn't say better player.
He's getting more.
I agree. I think you have an argument there. I think you put Kane on City. He's getting 40 40 plus.
And on top of more goals, in my opinion, he's adding more to the all-around play on top of that.
Varvar, I know you're trying your best to bring Kane to Manchester United. However, Firms, it is your turn to present your MVP of the season.
Millie, starting off with my honorable mention, it's Camavinga.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
He's a perfect player. He could play left back, he could play CDM, he could play center mid.
Out of all the players in this sport, you said Eduardo Camavinga. Look, he's a baller. Don't get me wrong. But a player like Declan Rice should have been higher than Camavinga.
Camavinga is a certified Firms pick. If you've been following our TikTok, you know that Camavinga is a Firms player. I respect the pick.
When you're thinking of the most valuable player, you're thinking of someone who slots in for his teammates, who compensates, and Camavinga fits that category.
James Milner, MVP of Firms' team.
That is a stinky shout, Varvar. I don't know where you're getting that from.
He said players who fill in every position. But Millie, it's fine, whatever. I'll accept Camavinga. Whose Firms is that real MVP?
Firms, your MVP of the season is Bernardo Silva.
Let's get the Bernardo Silva Millie jokes out, Varvar. Go ahead.
Bernardo Silva is here to accept the award in person.
I'd like to thank everyone for this Boxy. It is a great privilege.
Now that his speech is out of the way, Firms, you can explain yourself.
I did not choose Bernardo Silva because he's right here, but he deserves this. He was the most entertaining player I've watched this year. He balled out in every position as well, and he's a good player for Manchester City.
I mean, I agree. And once again, this is recorded before the CL final.
True.
He might be Man City's, I don't know, I didn't want to say most important player, but he's definitely top 3 with Haaland and KDB. Outside of Haaland, and he might even get a move this summer if he gets a move.
And he's definitely a top 5 mid in the world, for sure. For sure.
There's a shout there, Varvar.
I don't know. Would you take Barella or Bernardo Silva?
Bernardo Silva.
As much as I would love some more Nicolo Barella prop, I think it's time to get to my MVP picks of the season.
It is, Millie. Who's your honorable mention?
Hopefully not Barella.
My honorable mention is Lisandro Martinez, arguably the best defender in the world.
Millie, this vibe between me and you right now.
In the world.
Firms, if you have a good defender on your team, you'll know.
If
Lisandro Martinez is that guy.
I got multiple good defenders in my
If you
team.
guys were in this room right now, you'd feel the tension between me and Millie. It's so strong.
What the hell is going on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Millie's picking Man United players. I'm picking Inter players. It's getting hot.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm about to throw a Boxy at you.
Okay, Millie. Who's your? We'll talk for 1 second about him. He's an exceptional player. I mean, no better defender in the world, in my opinion.
He's paving the way for those young defenders.
S tier player.
With my honorable mention out of the way, here is my winner for MVP of the season.
We're about to see a Lau Farto.
Oh, please no.
My MVP is Jamal Musiala.
Exotic, Millie. Very exotic.
Won the title for Bayern. Let's not forget that.
And balled out for Germany.
Firms, you think Musiala is an exotic pick?
Well, not exotic because he doesn't deserve it, but I wouldn't expect you to go in Bundesliga to find your favorite player, you know?
When you're talking about the Boxy MVP of the season, you're talking about a player that has changed the way you see football. And Musiala, for me, in the World Cup for Bayern, has been exceptional. The way he commands a team at his age is unprecedented. Only maybe Jude Bellingham has done something like that.
Millie, I like the shout.
It's a good shout. He scored the winning goal too.
The tension just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Don't look at me in disgust.
And now, the award that you have all been waiting for, the Box2Box MVP of the season.
This Boxy is worth more than the Ballon d'Or.
Messi probably puts it in front of the Ballon d'Or.
All of his Ballon d'Ors mean nothing if he doesn't win this Boxy.
And let's say this is not a PR contest. This is like actually the best player in the world.
The nominees for the Box2Box MVP is Haaland, KDB, Mbappe, and Messi.
Let's get Mbappe out the way because we all know what's happening.
He deserves to be on this list, but he's not going to win.
Let's get through KDB because we all know what's happening. This is Haaland versus Messi, and we all know it.
That is crazy that you just brush over the best French footballer in the world.
Ever.
Ever.
Better than Zidane, in my opinion.
I don't know about that. But KDB as well, best Belgian player of all time. But It is Haaland versus Messi. Firms, what do you think?
I don't know where to start. Haaland, probably the best first season I've ever seen.
It's like every single time I opened up my one
Goal.
football.
Goal.
Yeah,
Goal.
every single time. It's insane what he does, and I gotta put my hands up and say I respect it because I thought he was a fraud, and then he pumped us for 3 goals.
He might be generational.
But will we be forgetting the Messi World Cup run? Is that enough to win the Boxy MVP?
Messi definitely deserves to be here. He had arguably the best World Cup performance ever. Some would say.
It's not crazy
Of
to say.
course.
Not crazy to say.
And then you see what Haaland did, and he's playing in a CL final. Can you, I don't know, what's the trade-off here? Haaland didn't play at the World Cup either, let's not forget.
You're right, Varvar. There has to be a trade-off here. Is it club football or World Cup?
What Haaland did, he doesn't need a World Cup to define his season. It was extraordinary, one of the best I've ever seen. So he definitely deserves to be here.
Premier League goal record, nothing to shy about.
And now, the winner of the Box2Box MVP is... Erling Haaland.
This is a robbery. And I will not allow this.
Did you vote for Messi?
I voted for Messi.
I voted for Haaland.
This is ridiculous. Millie, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Haaland. I'm sorry.
Messi had the greatest World Cup of all time. That's not comparing to Everton forwards in the 1940s. It's comparing to Pele and Maradona. That's the tier he's in.
Messi just had to do that over the course of a tournament. I'm not saying the World Cup is no pushover. However, Haaland had 38 games plus to be the best player in the league. And breaking the Premier League record, that is arguably just as hard.
I would have loved for Messi to continue his performances even for PSG. But Haaland was just so consistent. You put Haaland in Argentina, he's winning the World Cup too, you know?
What?
That's a
Listen.
crazy shout.
Comment if you think that Haaland would win the World Cup with Messi, because I think that's blasphemous.
With Messi?
Oh, sorry. With Argentina, that's blasphemous.
Unfortunately, we will not be able to see that. Haaland is your Box2Box MVP.
He's not mine. He's not mine.
He is mine.
And with that, the first edition of the Boxies has come to an end. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, follow, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's see who is going to be the next year's Boxy MVP.
And make sure you guys let us know for each award who was your winner.
And if you agree or not, and see you next video.